going to be a way for you to consistently have something online without having you to do it yourself. Hey there, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, my goals after this video is to be able to walk you through what are the top most in-demand skills that you need to watch out for when you're hiring a virtual assistant. Now, if this is your first time on my channel, my name is Lai Lacaba. I've been working from home since I was 15 years old, and now I run my own outsourcing company here in the Philippines. And I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to run a business from home. So make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. Now, when it comes to hiring and working with a virtual assistant, there's going to be a lot of different skills that you will need to help them free you up from your business. Because essentially, when you're hiring someone for your company, you are hiring them to free you up from doing something else. So for example, right now, let's say one of the tasks that you're doing for your company is, for me, example, at that time, editing my own YouTube videos. When I hired my virtual assistant, Tina, then she took over the editing so then I could focus on other things. I was honestly spending about 4 to 8 hours a day editing my own videos, and now I don't even have to think about it because I know Tina's got it. That's kind of the goal that you want as you are hiring people for your business, especially with a virtual assistant. Now, this list is basically going to be the list of the usual top skills that people hire for that are in demand when it comes to working with a virtual assistant. Now, I'll basically just line them up based on what I've also seen inside of my company, 2XU, where we hire, manage, and grow executive assistants for a lot of our clients, and what are the top things that are delegated to them right off the bat. Now, the first one is email management. This is a task that is kind of almost a little bit basic or just expected when you hire and work with a virtual assistant. Now, email management is basically having someone else go into your email every day, every week, up to you what the cadence is, and they clean up your email so you only see the ones that you should be seeing. An upgrade from that even is having your assistant be able to create drafts of the possible reply that you can create for that email. So email management is really making sure that things are cleaned up so you can see what you only need to see, respond to what you need to respond, and then the rest your virtual assistant can take care of for you. Try to imagine how many hours a day you spend looking at your email, reading through emails, deleting emails that are not even relevant to you, and having a virtual assistant who can do this really correctly is going to free you up from doing a lot of the work that you're currently doing when it comes to managing and replying through emails. Next task or skill to look out for when you're hiring a virtual assistant is someone who can do task or project management. Now, this is super important, especially if you're someone who have a lot of things on your to-do list and you can't seem to get into the end of them, or you have a lot of different projects with different clients that you work with. So when you hire a virtual assistant who has a background in task and project management, then it's going to be easier for them to manage you. That's kind of the goal of someone who's good at task and project management, is they can tell you, hey, these are your top priorities of the day based on the projects that we currently have and based on the prioritization that we've set early on. And they're even able to help you with prioritization later on. The more that they know about your business, they can help you prioritize and set things based on the goal that you've set with them. They can of course take tasks out of you. They say, hey, I saw this has been on your file for the last 3 months. Should I just take this out, or should I start taking this over so this is just off of your plate? Next task or skill is just calendar management. Every day you probably have a bajillion meetings. Calendar management is simply the skill of double checking if you have any overlapping meetings, booking meetings for you, setting appointments with different people. It's making sure that you don't also get too tired at the end of the day. So for example, my assistant Christina, she gatekeeps my calendar and makes sure that I don't have more than 7 to 8 meetings in a day, because then I'm too tired to be able to function the rest of the day. So having someone who can do calendar management, your virtual assistant especially, who works directly with you, is going to be so helpful for you as you start scaling your business and you have more calls or more meetings with people or more appointments with different people. Next skill or task is customer service or customer management. Having someone who can help you deal with your clients and your customers is going to be so helpful because one, they'll notice patterns that you probably miss because you're too close to it. They can help create documents like frequently asked questions. They can create standard operating procedures, for example, on how to do certain things, or even creating you a guide on how to respond or how to interact with your clients and your customers. Having a virtual assistant who can help you manage not just the communication, but also the relationship itself is going to be so powerful to free you up so you're not just a bottleneck when it comes to making sure that your clients and your customers are happy. Next task or skill is just data entry. Having a virtual assistant who can watch things as they come in, put them into a spreadsheet, collect them, organize them, and even further give you a report on like, hey, based on this data that we have, these are my recommended action steps. So having someone who can look at your data and give you a report is going to be so helpful for you as they're doing different things. Now, one thing I do need to note in the middle of this video is a lot of the things on this list doesn't mean that one assistant should do everything. A lot of these skills could be, 5 or 6 of them your virtual assistant can get started with, and then later on add more things. But you must look at this list as a way for you to think about what other things can I delegate to someone else, and not just think that your virtual assistant is going to be this superhero who could just do everything in your business. This is a myth. I've talked about this in the top mistakes that people make when hiring online, so make sure to watch that video. The next skill that you can hire for with a virtual assistant is web development or setup. Someone who can set up your website if you don't have one, or at the very least upgrade it into whatever you need it to be. So for example, let's say you've had a website for years now and it needs a little bit of upgrading from the old brand that you had to the current brand that you have, or if it's just creating web pages or creating blog pages, for example, for them to put up. This is just a skill that's going to be helpful, so you don't have to do this skill. Next task or skill that you can definitely hire for is webinar setup. If you are someone who is regularly having calls with different people, you're doing webinars, you're doing seminars, you're doing workshops, whatever it looks like, having someone who can help set up your webinars, set up your calls is going to help you immensely rather than you setting things up. Your virtual assistant could be the one doing the scheduling between the people that you are going to be meeting with. They could help you set up the actual software. You can do a test dry run with them. You can do a lot of different things to make sure that the webinar runs smoothly, and even have them make your own slides. Next is being able to do SEO or search engine optimization. If you have a virtual assistant who knows even just the basics of SEO, where they can put certain keywords, they can make sure to change certain titles of different things, then this is going to be powerful for you, for your business to be found faster and easier by different potential clients and customers. So having a virtual assistant trained up on SEO, or they already have had experience in SEO, is going to be helpful for you in your business to be found on Google or on other platforms. Next skill or task that you can definitely have a virtual assistant do is just graphics. Now, whether this is graphics for social media, graphics for, again, making slides, making posters, making postcards, it could be graphics for just your logo or graphic design for your website. Having someone who has an eye for images is going to be helpful for you to have someone who can understand your branding, can understand your vision for the business, and be able to turn it into a graphic that everyone else can understand and see. Now, speaking of social media, a skill or task that you can definitely give a virtual assistant or hire for is someone who can optimize your social media, who can manage your social media. When you have someone who can take over the day-to-day of posting, of checking the analytics, of interacting even with the people who comment on your posts, is going to be helpful for you to free yourself up, so you're not doing that yourself. It's going to be a way for you to consistently have something online without having you to do it yourself. Now, on the other side of it, on the higher level, is then hiring someone who can do the content creation, whether it's writing the blog post as you, whether it is creating a social media post, whether it's planning out a content calendar for you. Having someone who can create content and strategize what it would look like for you and your brand as a virtual assistant is going to be so powerful and helpful. If you guys don't follow me yet on Instagram, half of my posts, those that you see are the graphic posts, I didn't make them. It's Christina, my assistant, did them. So this is one of the powerful ways that you can really have your virtual assistant take it to the next level of now not just managing your social media, but also creating content for your social media. Now, one of the biggest things that you can hire a virtual assistant for is managing you. Now, this is not a skill that's an automatic thing, but having a virtual assistant who can direct you to where you want to go, kind of a little bit of what I talked about earlier with project management, but having them remind you like, hey, it's so-and-so's birthday today, do you want us to send them flowers? Or, hey, I saw this post from your friend the other day, do you want to send them congratulations? Having someone who can help you manage your life is going to be that next level stage of having a virtual assistant. It's kind of like really having a personal assistant who knows a lot about your life life who can help you manage it and manage you, so you're always on track with your own goals, whether it's your personal goals or your business goals. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there and comment below what other things or skills do you think a virtual assistant should have as you're hiring them. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to run a business from home, which you guys can check out the two playlists right here and the latest video right here. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.